Hello and welcome to the Miners Podcast. Thank you so much for joining in. I am super excited to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Welcome, Adiza. How are you doing? Welcome, Adiza. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. We are waiting for others. All right. We
Okay.
have Aisha. Hello, ma'am. Good
Hi,
evening. How are you
sorry,
doing?
I'm well, thank you. Alhamdulillah. How are you doing? I'm sorry,
I
I'm
am
three
very
minutes
fine.
late.
Thank you so much. Oh, it's all right, please. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope that we have a very fruitful discussion tonight.
Yeah, sure.
You
God's
for
willing.
Yeah,
gosh.
I mean. So at exactly 9:05, we are going to get right into it. So please bear with me. Thank you so much. Thank you
Hmm.
so much, Maimuna. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. It's an honor to have you with us in the room. And yes, we have our Vice President, University of Ilorin. Thank you so much, ma'am. I am super grateful to have you
Thank
share
you.
yourself with this amazing women. Thank you so much. It means a lot. So we have 5 more seconds. Okay, 4, 2, 1. And yes, let's get right into it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Miners Podcast, and this is Balkis Amzat. How are we all doing? I don't know, my light is very bad, so I won't be using my camera for tonight, but then it's all right. So, how are we all doing today? If you're going to be watching the replay, Thank you so much for joining in. And if you're going to be watching us live, I say thank you too. You can just let me know your location, your name, and all in the comment section, and I'll be very glad to actually say hi. And I have my amazing, amazing speakers in the room. I have Maimuna, I have Aisha, I have Islamia, and I have this amazing, amazing women from various spheres of life, and I'm super excited to actually have this discussion. I've always had one discussions with each of them, like different discussions from different angles. But today we are going to be having like a collaborative discussion. Every single person is bringing something to the table in the honor of this year's International Women's Day, and we are going to be going with the theme embracing equity. And I tried as much as possible to ingrain the part of technology into this, and that's why we have the tech evangelist in the room. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And so I would like us to get right into it. And yes, Adiza is back. Okay, good. So, Balkis Samsat once again. And I want to say a very big thank you to my guests, my panelists, for actually showing up with their A game. I am very, very excited for whoever is going to listen to this session. Like these women, they are just not going to give you anything less than you deserve. All right, then let's get right into it and let's mine everything we can mine from these people this night. Because we might not get them tomorrow. But before tomorrow, we get everything we want from them today, right? Okay, guys. So what I want you to know is that tonight is all about asking these amazing young people questions that has brought them this far in various spheres of their life, at the points that they are and the points that they wish to be. And trust me, it's not something easy. I have watched a number of us, go through a number of things. I have listened to, discussions. I have, been in rooms with these people. So I very much know that this is not easy. Being here, being able to speak, being able to say, being able to share lessons from your journey is not easy. And I want to say a very big thank you for giving me that opportunity to mine from you. Yes, I want to mine from you tonight because on Miners Podcast, what we do is we mine all of the resources, the goodness, the opportunities, and the greatness in a person in order for the world to benefit from it. So, thank you for giving me that opportunity. And I would like to get right into the session for tonight. All right. So, I want to start my question from different angles of the room. But I'll start with that particular one that is so important that it stays in every single person's head all through their life. I mean, we cannot do without it. It affects every single thing. It's like something that we cannot go above, and that is politics. And I'm going to be starting with Islamia on politics, right? So my question for you is this: uh, what can we describe as equity in politics? What do you think when we want to say equity in politics, we are achieving equity in politics? What exactly are we talking about? Please share this with the world, and I hope that we are able to learn one or two things from you tonight.
All right, thank you, Balkis. Good evening, everyone. Just as introduced, my name is Hussein Islamiat Arela. I am the SU Vice President for University of Ilorin. Concerning the question equity in politics, from my own definition, I would say equity in politics means giving the same chance to both the female and the male to contest, the right to vote and be voted for, all political rights, the same rights, giving the same opportunity in all political rights. I mean, contesting for offices, the male and the female should be given the same opportunity to contest for any office, presidency, governorship, House of Reps, any stage, whether at the federal, local, or states. That is all I have to say on that.
Thank you so much for that. That is achieving equity, giving the same opportunity to every single person, irrespective of their agenda and irrespective of what they have at that point in time. All right, good. So now I'll go on to the next person, and which will be my evangelist, my tech evangelist, the founder who argue women for tech. And my question for you is this: what are some of the barriers that prevent women from achieving equity in the tech industry? We know the tech industry is a very, very big one, and there are a lot of things that are actually stopping us. But what do you think from your experience? I know you have over 12 years of experience in this space. So please, what have you been able to find to be the problems that we are facing in actually finding equity in technology?
Okay. Quick one. Hi everyone. Thank you, Velikis, for inviting me to this show. All right. So I think some of the things that is really affecting the equity in tech generally is the first is the mindset that we already have, that tech is actually a world of man and it is meant for um, men. Like the job in tech is actually for men. And second thing there is also the imposter syndrome the women normally have when trying to go extra mind, stepping out of the comfort zone and trying to do something out of what they have been doing before. So it is really, really affecting the equity in tech ecosystem, because a lot of ladies, even those that are in tech, at a point they still feel, oh, this is actually not for them, right? Like this is not actually for them. They will end up going back home to what the tradition or what the culture has taught them, that, oh, ladies are meant to be at home, ladies are meant to take care of the house, ladies are meant to be in their kitchen, ladies are meant to take care of the families and the rest. So this is actually affecting the equity. And as much as the job opportunity is there, as much as the um, easy access for women is there, we still have this mentality that, oh, technology or tech ecosystem is a world of men, and the job out there too is a world of men.
Oh my goodness. I am really, really glad that you're able to share that with me. Thank you so much. Welcome back, Adiza. And I really like the part of imposter syndrome. I like the part that you discussed that, and we're going to come back to it. But let me ask Aisha this very important question, because it connotes every single thing that we are going to be talking about tonight. Some of the things we're going to be talking about tonight. And that is going to be this. Aisha, what role does communication play in promoting systemic inequality? What role do you think it plays?
Hi everyone. Like she said, my name is Aisha and I'm a language advocate. So quickly, before I answer the question in itself, I just have to mention that it's not like communication is the one that promotes. What communication does is that it just, whether through words or actions, it transfers our ideas that we already have, our beliefs, our societal ideas, individual ideas and beliefs and all of that. So, yes, I just wanted to mention that. And then in answering the question directly, so what communication does in this systemic inequality that we talk about is that it just, helps us to transfer the ideas, the stereotypes, the beliefs that we already have and project it onto other people, especially older generation, giving it on to younger generation. And it could be through speech or actions. Like there are a lot of people that think that, it's not just think. It has been proven that communication is not just through speech, it's also through actions. I could do something and that communicates something to you. So yes, communication is the major drive, it's the major factor for transferring the beliefs and the, ideas and stereotypes that we have, such that, there are inequalities between men and women in different sectors. Yeah.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for actually sharing that, Aisha. And now I think I understand the fact that it's not communication. It's the thing that come with the thing we are communicating and actually talk about inequalities. So let me go back to Ariola. So Ariola, tell me, when we talk about politics and the likes, women does not like going into politics. Women like myself, women like us, we understand the fact that there is harassment, there is violence, there is this, especially gender-based violence, which is something that I'm always fighting for. And I was almost beaten today where I went to, so I really cannot not say that it's not happening. And I've actually been close to being let's say harassed in politics. So it's something that I actually understand. So how can we address gender-based violence and harassment in politics? Create a safe and supportive environment for women in political spaces. Since you said that we need to have equal chances, so how can we create that balance, that safe space? How can we create it?
All right. Thank you, Balkis. I would like to start with that. It is quite difficult for a female to get into the political space. It is very, very difficult. Just like you mentioned, we have the gender based violence, we have other things, the tags that once you are into politics, there are some tags that they will just label you automatically. They believe you are this, you are that. Women in leadership, they have a kind of idea of the kind of person you are without even getting close to you. And I've been in contact, I've had a first-hand experience with all these violences and even close to something sexual. But one thing I'll say it actually depends on the person involved. I mean the lady involved. As a lady, if you know you want to go into politics full time, you have to have your own principles. It should not be a do or die affair for you. Some women, or let's say humans generally, we naturally take some things as a do or die affair. When I was contesting, yes, it was in school, not outside, that it is more robust and the likes, but we practice the same political this thing in school as well. In school, they were like, okay, you have to meet some people, get close to these people, and the likes. And I've heard some things about them. I was like, okay, if I'm going to get close to this set of people, I should prepare my mind for this. They would come with the sexual intention. Of course, they want to pass on you before they actually hear you out or even try to support you. But my own belief, my principle from the first day I decided to contest was I am not going to have any sexual relationship with anybody on the basis of support me for a particular position. If you are not going to support me, don't support me. I'm not going to date anybody during this period. I'm not going to be in a relationship with anybody that is politically inclined. I am not going to have, and I'm not going to meet you in a place that something like that would come into your mind, or you want to discuss something like that with me. And when you bring it up, despite all these measures that I put in place, some people actually brought it up. I let them know, sir, I cannot do this. If you will not be supporting me, then don't. If I'm going to become the vice president, I will. It is going to be the will of God. I said that and I left. And that was it. It was not a do or die affair. So I feel like every woman out there should have that mentality. It should not be a do or die affair for you. Um, there's this woman I want to remember. I think she's the only female governorship gubernatorial candidate. I think at a point I did not really follow the news, but at a point I think her mandate was stolen or something, and they had to go to court. She is married. To an extent, you don't expect a woman like that. Should a woman like that should be told what to do, or should be told to come and give them some sort of sexual this thing before they support her. You don't expect anybody to go close to such a woman. I believe if we can actually put ourselves in a position and have these principles, have put principles in place, I'm very sure that all these things will be curbed. And if if these people continue, they continue doing that, you can actually report them to those that they will listen to. Thank you.
Okay, I can no longer hear you. Are you still with us, or something is wrong over there? Islamia, can you hear me?
I'm really sorry. I think I'm having some network issues. But I already
Oh,
concluded, but I don't know if you heard that part.
all right.
So I was saying
Oh, I didn't hear this.
that we should, as women, we should have some principles, we should have lines,
Okay.
boundaries that we would not
Mm-hmm.
cross no matter
Okay.
what, whether for a
Okay.
position
Yeah.
or for an appointment or
True.
any other thing.
Okay.
We should not cross that
Right.
boundary.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And that really says a lot about the kind of women we opt to raise when it comes to being politically inclined. A woman with principle, a woman with, boundaries, a woman with, this end, that end, don't cross it, don't move there. And I really like that. I am Ariola. Thank you so much for actually making this, as simple, as open as possible. So I'm going to be moving on to Maimuna. Maimuna, I know that, when it comes to the tech space, when it comes to the way things are going, when it comes to how things are moving, right? I would like to ask this question. So, how do you think technology can be used to promote equity and onboarding marginalized, communities? How do you think that those people who feel like they cannot reach that space, they cannot reach that goal? How do you think technology can be a tool in making something work for them? Mamuna, are you with me? I can't hear you. Oh my goodness, he's trying to unmute and the thing
Can
is
you
not
hear me
moving.
now?
Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Thank you very much. Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So yeah. Uh, all right. So I think one of the few things we can technology to promote equity. The first, which is most important, is to provide access to information. Like, we should try as much as possible in the tech ecosystem to provide access to informations like resources, educational resources. Okay, if someone wants to learn how to use this, how to build this, how to do that, there should be enough resources out there, job opportunities out there, um, and more of it to empower everyone. Like, that's why we have different communities. We have gender-based community as well, like She Code Africa, Women in Tech, Women for Tech, women tech makers. All these communities are there for women to come in, have access to information, have access to resources, get job opportunity and explore, attend different conference, events, talk about their self, and also to also facilitate conversation like what we are doing right now. It will encourage women to do more. It will encourage them to break that barrier. It will encourage them to feel free and know that, okay, fine, we have female, or we have ladies, or we have women that are actually doing what I'm also doing. So one of the things that when I was coming up as a techie, one thing I used to look at is the first is curiosity. I'm very, very curious. Like, I just want to know, why is this thing? If they say there is a goat there, I want to know why the goat is there. If there is a fire there, I want to know why the fire is there. Even if possible, I can taste the fire. I'm not saying you should taste the fire actually, but that is how curious I always have. The second one is for you to stand on your own and kind of use someone as a role model. My role model when I was coming up as a techie is Ada, the first programmer, not the first female programmer, but the first programmer in this world, like the first person to program a machine. The person we call the father of computer is Charles Babbage, right? But his machine was programmed by a lady before it can start working. So I used to look at her that she's a very, very good model and role model, and someone that, yes, can say that yes, tech is actually for women, and tech has always been for women. So the I also have few ones. Of course, in tech we tend to have some things, and as much as we make resources available, educational things available, courses, online courses, virtual, physical courses, e-learning, as much as we have all these things, it's always overwhelmed sometimes. And when you're not getting, you try to lay out, and that's where the let's say you have somebody to always check on you and always check on your health as well. So basically, I think most important thing is make sure we have um access to information and facilitate a lot of communication around it.
Oh my goodness. That was like the full package, the whole thing, like every single thing together in one place. How did you do that? Like you just made it so simple and seamless. And I really say like thank you so much for actually sharing that. Thank you so much. So my question is going to go to Adiza. She's been having some network Bulaba and Balablu. So I think she's back now. Let's get right into it, Adiza. So Adiza, this is my question for you. You said in your bio that you are an aspiring journalist. You like to help the feminine gender with whatsoever that you can, however that you can, and I respect you for that. It's not easy to want to be known for something or to stand up for something, and that's something I want to say a very big thank you to every woman in here watching this session. Thank you so much for doing all that you can in your little ways, in your little corner. It's not easy at all. Even if it is to just have the shoulder to cry on, it's really not easy. So Adiza, tell me, how can we, you said you want to be a journalist, and I know that's one very important thing that you would love that would make your work easier is communication as a journalist, right? So how can we use this as a tool for unburdening women from this negative impact of gender discrimination? There is always this thing of she's a lady, she's this. Something happened today actually. I was once beaten at a park, but then thank God my mouth did not stay in one place, and they could not beat me. But still, how exactly do we do it that we take out the stereotypes? What are the tools, or what how can we use communication journalism as a tool to actually reduce or actually mitigate this negative impact of gender discrimination? Adiza, are you with me? I am seeing you in two places. Which one should I remove, please? Adiza, can you please say something? Hello, Adiza. We are waiting for you. You talked about setting boundaries, having principles, and the likes. Please, can you tell me the kind of boundaries and the kind of principles that you think that we should set as humans if we want to get into leadership positions? Leadership is not just politics, and politics is played in every single place. So what are the boundaries, like the clearly stated boundaries, the things that you can say, do this, don't do that you can tell ladies to actually put as their boundaries when it comes to being in that place of power?
Balkis, was that for me?
Yes, ma, you're the leader here. Leadership, ma.
Oh, I did not hear. I just heard boundaries. So I was thinking, please come
Oh,
again.
okay.
I'm
I
really
am so
sorry.
sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So I said, what are those clear cut things? I mean, things that we can list. We can say, oh, maybe don't dress like this, don't eat this, don't do this, that we can call boundaries and principles, for women trying to go into politics in order to achieve that basis of equity that we are talking about? Because equity also comes with some things from your own end too, some principles, some life boundaries, some life values. So what are those that you can actually put out there for others to actually maybe inculcate, or that's helped you over time?
Okay, thank you. For me, I would say our principles differ, even boundaries differ. Probably a something I think is the last boundary for me is like nothing for another person or in another sector. But generally, I would say we should, as a woman, our boundaries should be security inclined. It should be sexually inclined, and I think morally inclined. Yes. When I'm talking about security inclined, you should know when you should go out and when you should not be outside. And if you are to be outside at a particular time, you should not be alone, especially if you are with a male. You should be with a trusted person, probably another male that is your friend or family or somebody that you trust so much, if it is very, very important for you to be out by that time. And when we are going out, I feel like it's not really about females. As a human, as somebody that you know that if anything happens to you, it is going to fall back on your family. It is going to make them sad. When you're going out, let people know where you are going to, who you are going there to meet. Be security conscious. Very important. And when we are talking about what's the other
Hello.
one that I mentioned? Hello, can you hear me?
I
Yeah,
can hear
I'm
you.
sorry
I
to
can hear
interrupt.
you.
Okay. Then sexually conscious. We should be sexually conscious. Because as females, especially if you are fine, you are fine, fair, you have a nice body shape, naturally you'd attract any man. That is the truth. You will attract a man. And it's like nature. It is normal. Now it boils down on the female in question to be able to control the setting. Well, I'll say we cannot really control what the man can do in this case. But as a female, you can't control yourself. You can't control how you react. If you know this person is bringing on board what you don't like, you can leave, take excuse, leave, or let the other person know that you don't like what he is doing. Create a boundary there. Let them know straight that okay, you are not this kind of person. You don't do this. You don't tolerate this. Be straight with it. Let your no be no, your yes be yes. That is it. And morally, I think the way we dress is the way we will be addressed. Over time, I've studied that as a female, you don't need to open your body to be attractive. You see some women, I can see Memunot's DP. I love the way she's dressed already, and any male will be okay with it because she has her head there, her cloth is there, really nice. Then her scarf is by her shoulder, nice, and it speaks a lot that she is a respected lady. I feel like the way a woman dresses is the way she will be addressed. If you dress the way you should be respected, you will be respected. It is normal. You will be respected. But if you dress in a way that you naturally categorize you as a runs girl or a call girl if you are not dressed very well. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. I love the fact that it was just under three thematic areas. It was just like security, morally, and what was the last one? And that was just beautiful because it just connotes a lot of English that would have spoken all day and all night, and that means a lot. So I really like the fact that you could draw out example from our conversation and also from some of us that are here, and I really love that. Now let me go to Aisha. Aisha, you're a language expert, and you do a lot of things around being helping people actually seamlessly learn languages. Now, my question is this: in your journey through the languaging part of things, Was it like you studied language as a thing, or it was just a passion? And if it was a passion, what role does schools and educational institution plays in promoting gender equity? I'm just trying to ask that first question as a personal question, and then this is your real question for the night. What role does schools and educational institutes plays in promoting gender equity?
Okay, thank you. So, yes, I actually studied German and French because I really liked French. So, I wanted to study French in the university, but they gave me German. So, I decided to combine the two. And then from there, I learned Spanish, I'm learning Arabic, and all of that. So, yes, that's how I started learning languages. For the main question, um, which is about schools and their roles in like gender equality. So there is this story that I think it was Chimamanda that shared it about how when she was in school, she there was a test that they did to choose the class rep, the class governor, the class I don't know what we call them now, but somebody that is supposed to be in charge of the class. So she had the highest in the class, but the teacher said she couldn't be the class rep because she's a lady. And they have to use the person that had the second highest score as the class rep because it's the guy. And I just imagine what kind of mentality that just puts in the heads of every single person that was in our class at the point, and what kind of ideas they nurtured as they grew. Because it was he or she, whoever the teacher was basically saying that, oh, well, because you're a woman, you're not able to head this class, you're not able to take this leadership position, right? So, yes, you spend like as children, as students, you spend how many years of your life going to school every day of the week. You spend so much time in school. You don't only relate with your teachers but also other students, which means that you learn a lot of things in that society. If the school has, teachers, people in the position of authorities that believe that women should be able to do this and men should be able to do this, girls shouldn't be able to do this and boys shouldn't be able to do that, then of course that's what they are going to um you know implant in the hearts of these young minds, and that is what they are going to nurture such that when they become adults they also do the same thing. So yes, the educational system actually has a lot of role to play in promoting or not promoting gender equity. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. That is a lot. I think that there is a question I'd like to ask everyone at the end of this session, and I just hope that we are able to put this into consideration, because we all kind of have that personal bias when it comes to who to make a leader between a man and a woman. But I'll come back to that later. So, Adiza, are you back with us? Please, are you back?
Yes, I am. I'm so sorry for the
It's
inconveniences,
okay. It's
please.
okay. It's okay. No problem. No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your question, right? I was asking the other time that, in what ways how can we use sorry in what ways can communication be a tool like journalism? You said you are an aspiring journalist, and you'd love to be able to help females in whatsoever way that you can. So in what ways can communication tools be used for unburdening women from the
Hmm.
negative impact of gender discrimination? In what ways can we do that?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here. I am so honored for the privilege given to me.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Yeah, to your question, if I can understand you, like ways in which communication can be used as a tool for unburdening women from the negative impact of gender inequalities or discrimination. But first of all, I would like to let us know what really unburdening women is all about. Because these days, women everywhere. Was it not yesterday that a guy was telling me that we were cheating on them, that we celebrate women every time, but I think that was just a kind of bias. Say, back to the main business. If we are to talk about unburdening, to my own understanding, is just the act of being free or relieved from worries, fear, anxiety, distress, or any kind of disturb from any angle. Now, to how communication can actually be used as a tool to just help women free from worries, from anything disturbing them or whatsoever. First of all, I would like to emphasize on some kind of tips. And the first tips is that we need to ensure fair visibility, like fair visibility for both men and women. I mean, like for instance, now what I'm trying to say by visibility is that the communication between both men and women should be equal. Although equal visibility for men and women is not really that enough. We need to ensure fair visibility. And what I'm trying to say is that our communication doesn't perpetuate gender stereotypes. So it may allow men and women to be on equal footing. Then fair visibility can be achieved by presenting a diversity of roles for both men and women, like by giving the two gender chances to diverse, to create, like to realize their potentials in different ways by not being biased or trying to favor gender a gender to another. I can tell a story, or let's just say a story or a photo with equal numbers of women and men, in which men are in leadership roles and women are in support roles. You can see that all of this does not actually give equality, like is not really qualified as fair visibility. What I'm trying to say is that a story or a photo with equal numbers of women and men
Oh my God, I think our network threw her off again. Nana, what have you done to your network tonight? What's wrong with your service providers? You were giving us this very cool gist and then they took you away. It's all right, it's fine, there is no problem. So, Maimuna, let's have you cover for Nana until she gets back. So, please, what are the ways? I'm trying to mute her so that she doesn't get right back in when she gets back. Oh my God, I can't even mute her because she didn't give me that permission, right? So, Memuna, this is going to be for you, right? I want to know what your thoughts are, that how can women who are already in tech positions become mentors and advocates, for other women seeking to enter this field? I have a sister who is into programming, development, and the likes. She has been doing this thing for like over a year now, and sometimes I just look at her like, I wish I could be of help, but I can't because it's not actually my field. So how do you think that women that are there already can actually try to help others?
I hate all of this distraction.
Okay, so thanks for this opportunity to express my feelings here, and also the amazing question. So I'm going to use myself as an example, right? So the first thing is um when you're already there in tech, or you are ahead, you should try as much as possible not to make it difficult for others that are coming. So the first thing I will appreciate, we look at, is trying to reach out, make yourself available and offer help. Like if you check my social handles, especially my Twitter page, on my bio, there is a calendar schedule. If you want to have a talk with me, if you have anything you want to share with me, mentorship, you want me to guide you on something, you just wanted to, 30-minute section, I have it there on my bio. You just click and schedule your calendar, and here we're gonna have a talk. So we should always try as much as possible to reach out, let people know that they are free to come over and seek for help. It can be mentorship, it can be guidance, it can be personal development, it can be career development, it can be also anything in tech. And we should also try as much as possible to create a supportive community. Yeah, so when I was coming up, because I wouldn't want um all the stress that I passed through, all the sufferness, all the thoughts, self-thoughts. I know it is very, very difficult for women to undergo all these things, but just because I'm very, very stubborn, like very, very curious, and if I want to do this, I just want to do it. So, and I believe that at a point it's a weak point for we women. So I, along when I was learning, I created a supportive community, and up till now I'm carried along. So that's why we have community, women-based community. We try to encourage others to join, seek for assistance, seek for help. Don't keep quiet, try to talk. People reach out to you, and also advocate, right? So more reasons why I call myself as a tech evangelist. So when I say tech evangelist, is because I advocate for tech, I advocate for women in tech, I advocate for gender equity, I advocate for diversity and inclusion in tech. So whenever you see me, you see diversity, you see inclusiveness, you see that adventure in me, that yes. So we should always take it as a priority, or let me say as a job. As much as we love our job, we should always know that yes, anyone that is coming in tech, we should actually create that free and easy access way to that tech, or to that thing, to that their goal they are looking for. And also we can do by sharing resources and opportunities, right? Sharing resources and opportunities. If you have opportunity there, you share resources. I always have Twitter space, talk about resources, what you need to learn, what you need to do, how to seek a job, how to apply for tech roles, how to do this, attend conferences, how to network, how to reach out to people. Don't feel as if this person is above what you are, or this person is on high level, you can't talk to this person. Everybody starts from a point, right? So just assume that yes, this person is coming to help me. So, and whenever I speak politely to the person, she's going to assist me. So just put it at the back of your mind that I used to tell my mentees that, you see, before you can get to that place, what we call network is, you need to connect to this person that knows this person, that knows that person, that knows the sixth person that is going to assist you. So, and if you are not connecting, you won't get there. So I used to tell a lot of people that don't keep quiet, keep talking, keep asking for help, keep requesting. Definitely in the community, people will reach out to you. And the most important thing of all is to be a role model. That is what is to keep pushing you. When I wanted to start my hub, a tech hub, it is very I look at my community, I look at my environment. I never saw a lady having a tech hub, like a tech hub. Eventually it is guys, it is men that normally have this tech hub. At a point I was feeling somehow, but then because I put myself as a role model, okay, fine, if I have a tech hub, at least someone standing or someone looking at me from far we say, oh, for the fact that Memunat Manzuma has a tech hub, driving tech community, driving a lot of businesses in tech, definitely I can also do that. And from there, you serve as a role model for others to also do amazing stuff in the community. So most important thing I'll still key it is reach out to reach out and offer helps to people, like Most times when I hear conferences a lot about women, I hardly reject. Once I just check my calendar and it's fine by me, I always attend the event. Last year during DevFest, I attended 17 DevFest just to preach and advocate for women in tech. So also the second one is create a supportive community. It can be, I started with just 50 set of people, and I started from university, from when I was still in school, teaching in class. From there I move, my lecturer starts giving me some programming courses to take in class because I know all these things, so provide a supportive community within yourself, within your community, within your local environment. Gather people together, impact knowledge on them, and also advocate for that gender diversity and inclusion. In my hub, I think it is equal. The number of women staff I have is still the same number of men staff I have, and I give equal rights to everybody. You share resources and also opportunity out there. And the last one is always be a good and a role model to everyone.
Wow, wow, that was like a truckload. It was a truckload of value, like a truckload of value coming from personal experience as well as other things that you have been able to do. So thank you so much for actually sharing that opportunity with us. I'll come into your DM. Okay, well, I'll go and check your Twitter so that I can share this with my community. Whoever wants to get into tech, we need a community. I'm going to share this with them too. So for my final question for my final question for oh my god, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'm back. My final question for Aisha. Aisha, you said something about, you know, a story that you read from Chimamanda Adichie, and that was actually beautiful. So now, have you ever experienced something like that? That's my first question. What will conclude as our final question will be that how can the media and advertising industry onboarding women from unrealistic standards and objectifications? Because I remember a time where I have a lot of people say, okay, let me actually share this experience. I once had a person that we were in a relationship, and then the mother saw me for the first time and said that why would he date a lady that doesn't use makeup? It's been years. I don't think I've ever tried that thing, not voluntarily, and I think I've only tried it twice. And so it was looking weird to me because I felt like I had the right to what I want on my body, on my face. She had this expectation for the way I should be dressed, a lot of expectations, right? And it was a lot. It was a lot. So, how do you think the media, the family, advertising agencies can actually tone down that objectification and unnecessary standards that they promote, please?
Okay, so fortunately, no, I can't remember experiencing anything like that. I know that when I was in primary school, um, as far as I can remember, the smartest person in my class was a girl, and like I had like female class reps and all of that. Even in secondary school, we also had female class reps and all of that. So I cannot remember ever, being in a situation where I maybe deserved something as a student and then I didn't get it because I was a lady, which is very good, right? Yeah. So for the other question, I think that I think that it's important to just like it's not just the media and advertising agencies. We also have the people that are in business. Like I know a lot of women that have their businesses and they are in charge of, especially skincare businesses. Let me just focus on skincare businesses, and they are of course in charge of deciding what they want to put out as advertisements. And you almost always see somebody that is fair, that doesn't have any spots on their face, the skin is so clear and all of this unrealistic stuff. Like, I personally believe that, like, yes, it's okay to want to promote your brand and, show your brand as, yes, we work, yes, we are good and all of that. But it's also okay to have dark skinned people, for example. It's also okay to have people that have just a few spots on their face. Because if these people were actually using your products, as especially as women, we have hormones that fluctuate. Some people have pimples just because they are going to be on their period and all of that. So it's also okay to show that, well, yes, it's okay to have pimples. It's okay to have some spots on your face, as long as it's not, like, health wise hazardous or anything like that. And also the experience I had personally about somebody saying that, oh, why don't you use makeup, is like almost the opposite of what some people expect. So some people are like, oh, why using makeup? It's not good. It's fake. It makes you look fake. Maybe you're not beautiful. That's why you're using makeup. And then there are the few people that say, oh, why don't you use makeup? Right? I think that both of them are actually like, I don't think that you should just have expectations of people. Like, if you are a woman or whatever and you want to use makeup on your face, then that's fine. And if you're a woman and you don't want to use makeup on your face, that's also fine. There shouldn't be a standard in quotes, like, especially if the basis is just, constructs, and it's not like anything that has to do with maybe your physical health or anything. You should be able to do what you want, as long as it does not affect you or anybody else negatively, or hurt you or anybody else negatively. So yes, I think that is important for starting from women owned businesses, like small businesses owned by women, skincare, makeup, all of these things. Please, it's not everybody that is slim, fair, you know, has clear face and all of that, and they are still beautiful. So when you keep promoting that as a standard of beauty, then people's minds get, I know that you should have a mind of your own, but it's easy for propaganda to just get get spread, and then everybody just believes things a certain way. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am glad that you've never experienced it, because if you have, it leaves like a very big mental block. Like, it leaves a very big I don't know how to what word to use, but it just leaves a very big gap in your head. And I tell this story every single time I'm invited to speak or invited to any place, that this is not a joke. This is happening every single time, and we really, really need to actually combat it. So thank you so much for actually like taking out time to answer that question for me. Thank you so much. So, Ariella, this is for you. Your final question, please. And this question says, what role can men play in promoting gender equity in politics? And what are the efforts we as women can put in to actually, get more men engaged in the journey towards equity? Ariella, can you hear me? Ariella, please, can you hear me?
Hello. Okay. Yes, I
Yeah.
can now. I can.
Did you get my question?
Yes, I did. I got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, for me, on getting more men to support the women on the equity part, I feel like we're already getting there, because at this stage, I feel like majority of those supporting women in politics are even men. That is one thing I have found out. If you see anybody approach you for you to support any lady probably contesting or for anything, you would see that most of the time it is always a man. During my own elections, I can say out of 100% of those people that were with me, not people that voted now, people that were with me that were doing the running around together, 80% were males. They were men. Those are the people that I saw that, okay, yes, we're doing the strategy together, working together to get elected and the likes. So they were males. I feel like we're getting there, and men are now understanding that women can also do it and even do better. and they are now willing to support those that they believe in, those that they believe that they can actually do it. Yes, I cannot ignore the fact that there are some male that will still say yes, they can support somebody, a woman, to contest and emerge, but they can't marry such a woman. I feel like that is, I've always tried my best when I come across something like that to change their perspective. Because if you can support a woman to get elected and you cannot marry such a woman, then why are you supporting her? Because if you can give that kind of support to an outsider, but you can't give that to your wife. Because what if your wife comes up a day and said, okay, I want to contest for a member of House of Reps, would you discourage her? You will tell her that no, and your wife cannot do that, because there is a kind of tag on women in power. Once they are in power, they become disrespectful, they become this, there's always a problem with them, the way they talk, the way they act, stuff like that. I just believe that things like that has to do with the woman's personality and not with the position. If the lady is a naturally good person, whether she assumes power or not, she's going to be good. So I feel like we're getting there, and women, and I see we are trying to push an agenda now. He for she, it's been there, and even myself, there is a program coming up for my office, women conference. We are still going to push he for she. It is not too late to get more men to be inclusive, to support their women, and we will still continue doing that. And I'm very sure each one of us will also do that. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. That was like a really elaborate one, and I am really, really, glad that you were able to actually put that together. Thank you so much. So, my final question to everyone, and we are going to answer this one after the other. So, let me start with Adiza. Adiza, is your network good now? Can you talk?
Yes, I can. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. So, this final question, it says that in what ways can we work on our own biases and assumptions to promote equity and inclusivity, right? Because
Yeah.
there is actually that thing of we are projecting our own sorriness on other people many times as women. So how can we, combat, onboarding our own biases in order to take away that assumption and promote equity and inclusivity?
Hmm. Thank you very much. First thing I would like to say is that there is a say charity begins from home or at home.
Igbo.
We should make this change. Like this change should start from us, we ourselves, we women. Because this burden of a thing is of different aspects, different meanings. We have it in different ways. Some burdens can come as a result of maybe other people's lifestyles. Like for instance, now we are trying to copy the way other people lives, how they do their things. I would have loved to say it that we should just stop focusing on other people's lifestyle. We should just stop focusing on what they do or what they think, how they do it or go about their lives. We should just be ourselves. We should be ourselves. We should focus on what we want. We should try and be fearless, irrespective of any circumstances, irrespective of whatsoever they are going to say about us. We should just be ourselves and focus on our goals. We should be fearless. That fearlessness is the main thing. We should try and carry ourselves to a kind of to a very high standard. We should try and build a very good high self-esteem, and we should work on it. We should just be ourselves. Like we should be ourselves after realizing our potentials and try to know how to utilize them. I think with this, we can break all bias, all biases or protocols attached to our gender. Thank you very much.
That was a great one, Adiza. Thank you so much. So, Maimuna, please, it's your turn. Please answer that question. How do we break our own personal biases in order not to project this sorriness onto others? Maimuna, please, can you hear me? Oh, I think Memuna is not in yet. So, Aisha, please answer this question.
Hi. So, like previously mentioned, charity begins at home. Aside having these ideas and beliefs that, oh, yes, women should have equal access to opportunities as men, we should also try to live it, not just in our conversations, but actually in our actions. So, like when you dream of something, go for it regardless, even if there's, less women in the field, even if it's more difficult for women, just go for it and try your best so that, it's just basically so that you're living your ideas and beliefs. But I also wanted to mention something. I wanted to mention the other side of it about how some women blame every single thing on gender inequality, like even things that have nothing to do with men or patriarchal systems or anything. They just blame it on it because it's what everybody does these days, and they victimize themselves. And it's really annoying because it does not just say, oh, this doesn't make sense. It's also trying to rob people who are actually oppressed as women of their stories. So people are like, oh, women are always complaining. They always act like they are victimized, even the ones that are not. They blame everything on men. So, yes, we should also be careful not to associate every single thing that happens with gender inequality, because sometimes it's truly not. And there are other underlying reasons. Thank you.
That was just beautiful. Seriously, that was beautiful. So, Maimuna, are you back? Please let's have you answer that question.
Yes, can you hear me? I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I
My
can. I
network
can.
is oh okay. So I guess the other speakers, they have done justice, but I would just like to add two things to it. The first one is challenge your assumption. Whatever you think right in your mind, always challenge it. Yeah, I'm a very, very curious type. When I wanted to venture into tech, okay, the first thing is tech is a man's word. Why? Like, that's the question. Why is it a man's word? Is it that um whatever they are doing there, you as a lady, you cannot do it? So if you don't have answer to it, like, okay, you can do it, so why is it now a man's word? Why is it now a man's word? So always try to challenge your assumption. If you feel like there are some obstacles that trying to block, or there are some blockers that are trying to block your way, that okay, you cannot do this, you are not meant to do this, challenge them, challenge it. Why? Ask for feedbacks, try to know the reason why you cannot do it. If it's what reason why to step aside, then you can step aside. So just the way it is in politics, that's how it is in tech too, because tech is just like, in tech community is just like gathering people of like minds, and doing amazing stuff. So the others one I would like to have is take action. Right, so take action when you are promoting something, or when you're advocating for something. Let them see it in you yourself that yes, you are actually taking action of all these things. I am a tech evangelist, and I also know a lot in tech. I am actually advocate of women in tech, and it is seen in me that yeah, I'm an advocate of women in tech. So you should take action of whatever it is you are doing, and if you are wrong, always take action that yes, this thing I'm wrong, and you take you learn from it and move on. If you are right, you celebrate it. If you are advocate, you take action, you advocate for whatever you are doing, be it politics, be it in tech, be it in industry, be it anywhere. Always let them know who you are and what you do, and that's it.
Hey, I can no longer hear you. I can no longer hear you. Are you back with me, or is something the problem? I can no longer hear you right now.
So can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Please continue.
All right. So I said two things. Challenge your assumption and take actions of whatever you are doing. So I was trying to explain the take action part, which I said that you should always take control of whatever you are doing, be it right, be it wrong. If you are wrong, let's take action of it and know that yes, you are wrong. You take corrections, you learn from it, you take it as a lesson, and you move on. If you are right, you celebrate it. If you are known for somebody, or if you are known for your own definition, that is how um everybody will see you, and that is how everybody will define you. So I'm a tech evangelist, I'm an advocate of women in tech, and it is seen in me. I take action of everything I do in tech ecosystem. I take action in everything I do in time of advocating for women in tech. All these things is right in front of me, and it is seen. And from there, you have of course, you have principles, attached to it, because everybody will know that okay, this is what this person is doing, and this person is actually taking full action of whatever she is doing. So I'm just adding two things to what the speakers has said, because they have done justice to it. The first one is challenge your assumption, and the second one is take actions. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Challenge your assumptions and take action. Wow. And then let me have Islamia round up with that question, please. Islamia, we're waiting.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can
Hello.
hear you.
Okay, okay. All right. I feel like the speakers that have spoken has actually they've actually said a lot, and most of the things that I would like to say. But one thing I would just want to chip in is we should try as much as possible to be the best version of ourselves. We should try as much as possible to keep working to be better. I feel like there is nobody that has reached the perfect stage. There's always a room for improvement. I feel like when we keep improving, when we keep learning to be our best self, there would not be any way assumptions or biases will want to come into our mind or give us a problem or a problem, or any assumptions will be in our mind that will stop us from achieving our goals and dreams. Thank you.
You are very much welcome. You are extremely welcome. And thank you so much, every single person who took out time to join this live session. We will be watching the replay. To my amazing speakers, thank you so much for doing justice to these questions. Okay, Adiza has one last contribution. Please, you can go
Hello.
right it. Yeah. Adiza, I can hear you, please.
Yes, I'm sorry, I forgot to add this. I would like to say that we should also avoid procrastination because it's one of the strongest key that kills some people's morale to do some things like to utilize their potential, procrastination, because I can actually relate to it. Um, I'm fighting towards that. Thank you very much.
You are always, always welcome. Thank you so, so much for joining in. If you're going to be watching the replay, thank you so much. Let us know your questions in the comment section. And if you're going to be watching, if you watch this live with us, thank you so much for spending this time with us. And happy International Women's Day to every single one of us. Until the next time we meet on Miners Podcast. I remain Balkis Samzat and my beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining in. And I hope that when next we say, yes, please come mine with us, you're going to be available. Thank you so, so, so much, everyone. Good night and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.